The Congolese government has firmly refuted allegations of a coup attempt against President Denis Nguesso, who has held power for an astonishing 38 years. The Ngolo, Congo's Minister of Information, took to his Twitter account to address the situation. In a post marked as urgent, he responded to reports of significant developments in Brazzaville, dismissing them as baseless rumors. This official stance was also corroborated on the government's website. In his social media message, Nguesso stated, "The government categorically denies the dissemination of false information. We wish to reassure the public that a state of calm prevails and encourage citizens to continue their daily activities without disruption." Nguesso, aged 78, has maintained his leadership of the Central African nation for nearly 4 decades. He initially served as president from 1979 to 1992, briefly left office, and then reclaimed power in 1997 following a period of civil unrest. Since then, he has remained in control without interruption. Africa has witnessed a series of coup attempts in recent times, with the most recent occurring in Gabon, where the military successfully seized control of the Central African nation. Meanwhile, the recent news of UAE lifted visa ban on Nigerians, fresh from his participation in the G20 summit in New Delhi, India. President Bola Tinubu continued his proactive economic outreach by visiting the United Arab Emirates UAE, where he engaged with the UAE's President Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan early last week. Controversy had swirled around the question of whether the UAE had indeed lifted the indefinite travel ban it had imposed on Nigeria in October 2020 due to certain diplomatic disputes. Additionally, the renowned national carrier of the UAE, Emirates Airlines, had suspended its services to Nigeria because of approximately $85 million that the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN) had failed to remit. President Tinubu's spokesperson, Ajuri Njele, had asserted that the UAE had not only lifted the travel ban but had also made various investment commitments. However, the UAE's embassy in Nigeria, in its statement regarding the meeting between the two countries' leaders, did not mention the lifting of the ban. Instead, it focused on the mutual determination to strengthen ties in areas that serve both countries' sustainable economic growth, including economic development, energy, and climate action. This incident should serve as a reminder to Njele to exercise restraint in overly hyping every action of the president in order to prevent potential future embarrassments. President Tinubu's commendable efforts to restore the dignity and integrity of the presidential office by avoiding confrontational rhetoric must be consistently upheld. Nigerians are more interested in substance and truth delivered with maturity rather than excessive fanfare.
The unfortunate part of this situation was the celebration it generated among certain segments of our society. While Dubai, the renowned business hub in the way, is a prime destination for many Nigerian businesses, particularly traders and job seekers, it has also become a symbol of where the well-fed Nigerian ruling class indulges themselves at the expense of the masses. We hope that the eventual normalization of relations will lead to a fair playing field that benefits both nations genuinely. One point of contention was the unequal distribution of flight slots, with Way's Emirates enjoying the majority while Nigeria's Air Peace received significantly fewer slots, and was inconvenienced by landing at Sharjah Airport, which affected its customers. Divergent opinions among senators regarding potential removal of Akpabio Senators found themselves in sharp disagreement regarding the alleged plot to remove Senate President Godswill Akpabio. The disputes revolved around accusations of Akpabio's close association with President Bola Tinubu, manipulation of the ministerial nominee screening process, and the destabilization of the Senate through the appointment of committee leaders. Beyond the alleged discord sown in the Senate by sidelining certain experienced senators for chairmanship and vice chairmanship positions in a list committees, one disgruntled senator criticized Akpabio for his excessive joking, insensitivity, and unreliability, advocating for his removal. Reportedly, some senators had initiated efforts to collect signatures for Akpabio's removal ahead of the September 26 resumption. In contrast to the leadership approach of the Ninth Senate, where Ahmad Lawan appointed his loyalists as committee chairman and opponents as vice chairman of a list committees, Akpabio assigned both chairmanship and vice chairmanship positions to his loyalists in such committees, leaving nothing for his opponents. However, a Senate leadership member expressed skepticism about the success of the impeachment plot, emphasizing that collecting signatures was one thing, while achieving the necessary two-thirds majority for impeachment was another. With 63 senators having voted for Akpabio initially and considering the appointments distributed, it seemed unlikely that his impeachment would garner sufficient support. A senator supportive of Akpabio acknowledged some mistakes made by the Senate president, but believed they were insufficient grounds for his removal. They pointed out existing tensions in the Senate, particularly concerning committee leadership appointments, but argued that it was premature to consider Akpabio's removal. Additionally, they highlighted Akpabio's relationship with the executive, comparing it favorably to the Ninth Senate's relationship with President Buhari. Senate Chief Whip, Senator Aline Doom, commented on the matter, asserting that Akpabio had not committed any impeachable offense, while acknowledging some discontent about committee distributions. Doom noted that only 2 instances involved ranking senators not being appointed as chairman of a list committees, and those cases would be reviewed. He explained that the selection committee, consisting of both ruling APC and opposition members, had approved the committee assignments. Thank you for watching. Please share, comment, and like this video. Please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and also click on the notification bell to be alert when we release a new video. Thank you.
I've said times and again that Chicago State University will never remain the same again. That's the truth, whether we like it or not. That school will never remain the same again. It's going to go down in record for all that has been happening around this certificate and the records of the president of Nigeria, current president of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Recently, one Durujaye Ogunsoya came out to say, oh, he was my classmate in the... And Nigerians have, he's received lots of backlashes that, look, you two should release your own documents. Let us see what your own documents look like. If you have any alumni papers, let us see and see what the correlation is. And to come to think of the fact that this man appeared in an interview on TVC and saying all of that, I continue to wonder. And one of the questions that came to mind is, where has Ogunsoya been all the while? Where has Durujaye been all the while? Was he out of this world that he didn't know that there has been a case, that had something to do with the certificate of his dear colleague there back then in school and all of that? Since long before the election, this issue has been out. In any case, let's move on. Recently, David Udein, the investigative journalist, wreleased a particular document, and unfortunately for some of these guys who think they can, who feel they want to help and defend, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Chicago State University papers. He released the transcript and said that's Jubril A. Govt. Jubril A. Govt, that's his name on X handle, and it's at Mr_Jags, where that's JAG in case you want to find out. And so he said and tweeted, he said, Chicago State University releases President Tinubu's transcript. Brilliant student, and he has that emoji, the fire emoji. He said the next thing that they will ask for alumni association fee receipt or 200 level exam clearance form, you know, with the smiles emoji and all of that. Meanwhile, we need him to own to, see him to you, all of that. Anyway, David Udeye now came out and said, look, the transcript you are, posing to have been released by Chicago State University, he actually put it on. He was the one who uploaded it. And unfortunately for Jubril, he did not check the transcript he actually uploaded, because on the transcript, the person who bearing Bola Tinubu there was actually a female. It had F, female, as, the gender. And so he didn't check properly. And that's what I have, scrolling beside me here. He didn't check properly. So even some persons, it's been tough. It's been tough defending and defending and defending and defending and defending. But then we'll see how this all pans out. I've said times and again, life is in phases, and this phase will pass. Even if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu stays for 8 years, for 4 years and another 4 years, and it will still pass. It will become old, like the likes of Babangida. He will become X, like the likes of former President Olusegun Obasanjo. He will become X, and someday, very soon, we all have an appointment with death. But then we pray that it will be at the appointed time, not by, accident or anything. No, it will be the appointed time when we have fulfilled the purpose of God for our lives. So, all this gives me the kind of, well, it's okay. It will come to an end, even if it's hardship during its tenure, it's going to come to an end. You understand? Where are the Abashas of yesterday? Where are they today? And so the question keeps coming back. So the point in this guy, Jubril, has further messed up the whole situation by putting this up without checking properly. He's acted, funny. Let me not use any nasty statement here, any nasty word. He has acted funny by uploading a transcript from somebody else's page without checking properly, and then you uploaded it. You didn't check to see that actually it was a female who had that particular transcript. Well, feel free to drop your comment, because as it is now, David Udeye said that this guy Tinubu's transcript has implicated him, as posted by Jabril. It has further implicated and messed things up for him, as put up by Jabril, if it is true that. But then I know Chicago State University has denied, the particular results that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu presented to INEC. And like I would always say, somebody said, oh, but he has worked with this, he has worked with that. Nobody is disputing that somebody has worked with somebody. Oh, but then it could still be with a faulty certificate. And because back in those days, nobody will bother to, I don't think they bother to check, because those times it was an issue of just get to the airport and buy your ticket and travel abroad. It wasn't as tedious as it is today. That traveling abroad has become a rocket science. You understand? And so we don't bamboozle anybody with the issue of we see, all we are trying to say is we want to do things right so that we will get right results. People say you can't do things the odd way and expect to get good results. That's not true. Jesus Christ said a good tree will always produce good fruits, and a bad tree will always produce bad fruits. It's a principle of life. And that's what we're trying to avoid, not having a bad head, so that we don't have bad body, so that we don't have issues with the body. The head is very, very important. Very, very important. What goes on in this head is very important to the body. We need to get things right. Well, this is Serious Matters here at Tony TV. Please do share our videos with others. Drop your comment. Make them simple and simple. Thank you very much for watching. God bless you.